Go Pizza presents SCP.
Check this.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
Yay!
Oh, I didn't realize we had started the show.
No! Yay!
Yay.
The underdogs did it. The truly great underdogs of the National Football League pulled out one of the greatest AFC championship games ever. They pulled out the victory in Foxborough.
You know,
And-
what?
And that guy who plays quarterback, Tom Brady, he's just so exceptional.
Does Tom Brady have more Super Bowl appearances than the Chicago Blackhawks have outdoor game appearances?
Appearances?
I think he does.
I think he's at 7 now.
No, it's got to be more. Well, how many rings? 5?
Yeah, no, this will be his 5th. He has 4. I think he has 4. We'll look it up. You know what?
Yeah, sure.
Barroom arguments they're defunct now. You know, like
Bar
those
room.
Bar is that the phrase?
Yeah, I
Is
believe
that-
so. That's common. There's a website called Bar Room.
Is okay. Anyways, those bar
Saturdays are for the bar room, as everyone says. Everyone says that.
Anyways, they're defunct now. You can't be like, that guy had more goals. Well, I have a phone
Yeah.
and I can look it up. Tom Brady is a 5-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time Super Bowl MVP. So I guess that's to do Super Bowl appearances. How many is that?
How many?
7? So this will be 8?
Yeah.
God damn, Tom Brady.
So I was watching this while uploading the LFR video. I think the Jags were up 14-10.
Yes.
And then I read a tweet. I wish I could remember who it was from. It was basically, you know what, Jags fans, just remember what the last 30 minutes felt like and just enjoy that feeling and turn off the game and go do something else right now. And let that be the last thing you watch this season. Just enjoy it. And I see them kick another field goal. It's 17-10. I'm like, all right. I get in the car, arrive here. They've lost.
Yeah.
The friggin' Pats.
That's how it works.
The friggin' Pats.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 8 for Tom Brady. How many outdoor games do the Blackhawks have?
I don't know.
It's not 8.
I've grown uninterested in my own question. So this is a different show.
Sure.
Adam's not here.
Oh yeah, we should acknowledge that.
Yeah. So Adam's not here. He sounded so sick.
Did he?
I spoke to him on Friday. We had a phone call, and he sounded like, as the Brits say, death warmed up.
Is that a thing Brits say?
I don't know. All I know is it's what SL's family says. It might just be them.
Oh yeah, it might just be a select group of 3 individuals.
Maybe it's that. Yeah, from Scotland. He sounded like death warmed up. And then, he was messaging with us yesterday, but I was reading it in, all right, guys, I'm going to come in tomorrow. I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm not sure. Look, he's got a very big week coming up. He's getting married.
Yeah, Adam Wilde is getting married on Saturday, if you didn't know.
He's getting married less than a week from now.
Less than a week, yeah. 6 days.
And we're going to be there.
Yeah, no, keep going. I'll bring up something after.
I was just, he's got a big week coming up. He's got a lot to plan, and all I remember from my wedding is it was a great time, and afterwards, everyone got sick. Every single person. I don't know who it was, but like every member of all the groomsmen were sick. I was sick to start my honeymoon. Everyone was sick. A bunch of my family members got sick, so we don't need that. But I walk in here and Jesse Blake is
so
touching your nose a little bit.
So all the guys, there's about 11 of us who work on Timmins. About like half of them
Oh my God.
had a couple days off last week because they had a slight of a cold. And I said, I'm not going to get this cold. I brought in so much hand sanitizer, you would have thought I bought stock in the company. But
I hope I'm still in the camera shot. I'm moving away from you.
Friday night, I got a little sniffly. Friday night, I got a little sniffly. and I had a bit of a cold all of Saturday. But I slept for about 16 hours on Saturday, and
the best.
I drank the most amount of fluids, probably more than like an Olympic-sized swimming pool amount of fluids. And then woke up this morning, I'm all right. So I'm on the tail end, and I think one more good night's rest, and then like Monday is all blowing it out. You know, the last day of the cold, where it's just everything comes out. That'll be my tomorrow. Day. Yes, that'll be my tomorrow. And if I get a good rest tonight, tomorrow phlegm day, and then Tuesday I'll be back to 100%, hopefully.
So you didn't have what Adam had?
No, I don't have Adam Wild flu.
Death warmed up flu.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a lot worse.
Yeah, no. So, you don't want to get sick before a wedding because all you're doing is just guaranteeing every single person there
100%
sick. So
you know how many hands he's shaking on Saturday?
A lot. Well, especially him, right?
Yeah.
Because like he has to.
It's his job.
A lot of cheek kisses.
Oh, babies.
You're done.
There's going to be no babies there.
No, can you imagine if he gets his fiance sick?
If he gets Capri sick.
Yeah.
She's probably terrified right now.
I've never met a bride who was sick on her wedding day.
Because they know.
I've never been to a January wedding. So
speaking of never being to a wedding, I've never been to a wedding in my entire life.
Yeah, you said that and I don't believe you. I don't think that's true.
I went to one wedding when I was like 4 years old. My aunt, she married some guy, my uncle.
Your uncle. Yeah, that's how that works.
But he's not really a part. He married into the family, so like I'm not gonna give him all the credit.
Still your uncle.
He's a married-in uncle. You know, there's a difference between blood and married-in.
If any of my married-in family is listening to this, I count you as family.
You don't have that little slight distinction?
No, I don't.
Like your parents-in-law.
My parents-in-law?
Your parents that married into your family. SL's parents.
Yes.
They're slightly less than your parents.
Listen,
if you tell me any different, you're a liar. You are a liar if you tell me anything different.
Okay. They're still really high. Like really high up. You got this. You haven't even given this guy a participation ribbon. You haven't given him anything. He has no no authority.
You would confirm?
What do you mean I would confirm?
That SL's parents are slightly less on the rung of importance.
No, that's not what you said.
There's a ladder.
That's not what you started with at all.
In life, people hang on the ladder of importance. And your parents are on a slightly higher rung than SL's parents because they are your blood.
I suppose that would be slightly true. I suppose.
You would suppose?
I would certainly suppose.
Okay.
But when I go see her grandparents in Scotland this summer, I'm gonna give them the same hug I would give my grandparents.
Is that trip confirmed? You booked it?
No.
You're going?
But
no?
I mean, we're going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Scotland.
That'll be fun.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be. I always try to. I always screw it up. I think we're just gonna do Scotland. Because this started with, let's start in Ireland and then go to Scotland. And now I keep going, like, where else can we go? Like, I'm looking at Europe as, well, we're there. You can't really do that when it comes to, like, flights.
Yeah.
Because you're upping it by a couple hundred, maybe $500
You're acting
every
like,
time.
hey, we're in New York. Let's go down to 30 Rock. Let's go down to Times Square. I
was talking to SL about going to Guernsey, which is part of the British Isles, but it's closer to France than it is to the UK. And 60,000 people live there, and I can't imagine it's easy to get there. But just because my grandma's from there, I want to visit it.
Oh, you should do that. That's kind of cool.
You should tell her.
Could you rent a
she's
car?
Not interested in...
Couldn't you rent a car and like drive down?
No. Like there's the British Channel, like a body of water between this place and the rest of the United Kingdom. Yes. No, this isn't like if I wanted to, we could be like, we could take a train to England, and it would take I don't know a few hours.
Okay.
The UK is adorable. If all of you are listening, Glasgow to Edinburgh. It's like the train ride I take from Oshawa to here.
Oh God, that's just a whole different other place.
It's just two major cities.
Yeah, they're right there.
That's got to be I feel like people there are like, oh, that's a journey. Like, are there a lot of Glaswegian commuters to Edinburgh?
they work in one city and they live in the other, and I can't imagine there's many.
No, like we went on a long drive this summer, like a 2-hour drive, and her grandparents were like, whoa. What? That's
2 hours?
That's not. I don't know. That's a thing we do. It's not really a thing they do.
Yeah.
Hey, the Leafs won. I'm pretty stoked about that.
But we got to just finish on the Patriots are the greatest team ever.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank God Tom Brady got one.
If this is your first Just Me and Jesse show, you're in for a treat.
I think
no parents. No rules.
I think when we have no rules, it's amazing. Anyways,
we always have fun. It's just different fun.
Leafs win. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
Oh, thank God. Thank God. You know what? They've had a few games recently where they looked fine and then completely goofed it up. I just needed a win. I didn't care if it was a junk food win. I didn't care if the Sens outshot the Leafs 40-10 and the Leafs pulled out the win. But it was the opposite of that. The Leafs were great all night. It's just they gave up 3 straight goals in a very short amount of time. A little bit of bad luck, a little bit of mistakes and bad luck, followed by Bozak temporarily losing his mind. I don't know what the hell that was. And then the Leafs just kind of pulled their head out of their ass and I think scored 3 goals in 6 minutes or something like that in the third.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, the Leafs deserved to win that game, and they did. Thank goodness. And now I feel good. I feel better.
Okay. Couple things that came from the game.
Yes.
One, Stone bouncing off Marlowe.
That was hilarious.
First period.
There were so many good parts of that game. I had a 14-minute LFR that we watched before the show, and there were so many good parts that I didn't even get to. Mm-hmm. That was so good.
It was incredible.
Dermott rocked someone too.
Yeah. And then at the end of the second, the big storyline post game was that Marlowe gave a big speech.
I would love to know what it was, and how mundane it was.
Is it an actual thing that motivated the guys, or is it just a good storyline when you're writing the post game?
I don't know, because I've never quite been in that environment. Pro sports is such a unrelatable environment. I feel like it's not relatable to real life. It's not like you'll be having a bad day at work and then at 1 o'clock, someone's like, "Hey, Jesse, you need to." It's not like when does Tim and sit down?
No. Carl from accounting every day comes over to us, and at around 2:30, he starts. He just gets all worked up, and he says, "Today's the day.
Let's do that accounting. Let's do it.
Let's do that.
We're gonna get done.
Yeah,
taxes, dividends. I don't know. I'm just throwing.
We made the budget, guys.
We did it. We did it.
We did it.
Congrats, staff at the Scarborough East H&R block. Congrats. Did they do that? I don't know.
So it feels like it was a thing, though, because you wouldn't hear it from a guy like Marner post-game and be like, yeah, Marlowe came over and he talked to us and he told us to get our heads out of our asses or whatever he said. And even Babcock mentioned it, that they're being accountable now for themselves.
Yeah, I think this is a team you really gotta account for the mental factor. I've seen stats that say the Leafs aren't that good. I've seen stats that suggest they're one of the better teams in the league. All I know is where they are in the standings, and I watch the games. They've changed their style at least 3 times over the course of the season, majorly. I'm glad they got away from the stupid chip and chase. It's mental. It's so mental. And one of the things I've noticed is, have you seen Babcock's reaction in any interviews to what Freddie Anderson said?
No. So, his facial reaction?
His interview.
Okay.
He's done interview. Okay, so Freddie Anderson gets in the media, and it was after the Philly game, and he said, we need to figure out who wants to play for this team.
Yeah.
I think guys in the bench were pissed off about the shorthanded goal against. There's a lot we can dissect here. But what was most interesting to me was the next day at practice, and then day of game yesterday, there's videos released of Babcock interviews. He was so happy. He was so happy that he wasn't happy that it got out there, and he he emphasized that a couple times. I'm spitting all over the place. Sorry. He emphasized that a couple times.
Sick, so it's okay.
Exactly. I'm fine. No, he emphasized that a couple times, that he wasn't happy it got out public, but he's so happy that the players are starting to finally self-govern. I don't think he quite put it that way, but the players are starting to run the team, which was really interesting to me because, what's the subtext there? The Babcock has been solely running the team for the last year and a half. Two and a half years, I guess.
Yeah. But also, isn't that your job, Mr. Babcock?
It is his job, but like I think there's a reason that the Leafs don't have a captain, and it's because they don't deserve one. Like they shouldn't have one.
That's a good subtext. Yeah, maybe the reason they don't have a captain is because they haven't. Mike Babcock's been the captain this entire time.
Matthews wants more ice time. He wants more power play time. Well, I assume he also wants to be the captain. I assume there's a few players on the team who want to be the captain. There's a few players on the team who want different things, and Babcock will not give it to them unless they earn it.
Yeah.
No one's earned that captaincy. And so far, it sounds like the front runner is Patrick Marleau, which is obviously not going to happen.
No, the old guy who just got here.
Unless, I don't know, unless that becomes a huge story for the rest of the... I mean, if you're Patrick Marleau, he goes, no thanks. He turns it down.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I tried that before. I liked it better when I wasn't. The subtext was really interesting. And it was really interesting to watch Babcock's reaction, the players' reaction. Bozak, for as much as he's frustrated me on the ice as of late, had a really good response to that. And JVR just kind of brushed it off. Like, that happens a lot more often than you think. I like that the players are starting to get mad at each other. Because when you're losing all these games, and, you see all the video game stuff that's coming out with them, and they're just having a good time, and I don't know. It's not the most fair thing in the world, but part of me watches it, and I just go, shut up.
Oh, yeah?
Shut up and shut up and just win some games. I don't give a damn. But
so when you're on Matt Martin's Instagram and you go to his little story, you see it pop up at the top and there's a little circle and it says, oh, Matt Martin's updated his Instagram. And you see on it, oh, he's hanging out with Kadri and Marner and JVR and they're on a beach somewhere.
Oh, these four lazy dicks. Look at you, just chilling and relaxing in the middle of this losing streak. And you know what makes me feel better?
Yeah.
Every Leafs loss is devastating to me. I take it too much to heart. It makes me feel good to know it bugs them too.
It seems like you care more about the Leafs losing than the actual players.
Sometimes. It feels that way.
Yes.
Sometimes it feels that way.
Yes.
Really? When you lose, you feel it in your chest?
And from the outside, it looks that way because they have no reaction to losing except right now when Freddie got mad.
The whole Lou super duper uber professional thing that they got going on, this Teflon nothing gets out there thing. I'm like, can you just give me something for the love of God? You're not the late 90s Devils, or mid 90s Devils or 90s Devils.
You're a bunch of kids and Marleau.
Yes, and you're playing like crap, and it's driving me a little nuts that you're giving me nothing. And then Freddie comes out, and shouldn't have done that probably, but
well, it sounds like he should have.
Well, and then Babcock, what was great is Freddie comes out and says those things and publicly, and again, they don't like that he said it publicly, but I think a lot of teams would have squashed that right away. What the Leafs did, the players and Babcock did, was they emphasized how much more often it happens than we actually see. Babcock made a point of saying guys were yipping at each other on the bench. They were yipping at each other after the game in Philly. I think he's mentioned practice. I don't know. I like that there's this internal accountability. I mean, I think you see this sometimes. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes it's more over the phone, or maybe it's just before the show or after the show. Adam and I argue all the time.
Sure.
About different decisions. Arguing is important.
In
for
context.
Productivity. In context. No, there's a difference between bickering and arguing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I wouldn't call it arguing. I would call it you're deciding on something or you're sharing opinions to work towards a goal or a thought or trying to solve an issue.
Yeah, we don't yell at each other for a missed back check.
Yeah.
That joke sucked. No, we don't do a whole lot of that.
They're different things.
I enjoy the heated discussion. Okay. I'm happy that that's happening.
So that was intermission of the second.
Yeah.
Marleau did that. And then the third, I had a question about, what were your thoughts going when it was 2 minutes left in the third and they're down, or in the second, they're down 3-1. What were you thinking? Were you thinking the season's over? Is that when you tweeted out all the stuff you tweeted out?
I just went on a Twitter tirade because, no, I knew the season wasn't over. Well, okay, any realistic shot at a cup is over. Because, like, all I started thinking, it was...
Oh, I'm going to change the battery.
So there were... Okay. So there were... remember when the Senators made the Cup final? And they were absolutely unbelievable. And they had that Alfredson, Spezza, Heatley line that was just destroying worlds. And then, like, the year after they made the final, or 2 years, I don't remember, they just started to suck. They just started to suck, like, mid-season. And it was weird because they had started so well. So they just rode this early season, little point bank that they have to an 8th seed berth. And they got swept in the first round. Around that same time, like within 3 or 4 years, the Habs did the exact same thing. Started off in like first place, something like that, and then stunk out the joint, but made the playoffs and then got swept. And I was just looking at this Leafs team and going, for the love of God, that's what's going to happen, right? They're going to make the playoffs, but so what? What's the point? The Bruins are just going to stomp them in round 1, if they're lucky. If they're unlucky, the Bruins will continue this ridiculous pace. Tampa will slow down because of the Hedman injury, and then the Leafs will get Tampa. Hooray!
Which would be better?
No. It would suck a lot. So, no, I was worried about that. And I just started venting, like, there's a few things Babcock does that I am confused by.
I'm going to pull up your tweets here.
Sure.
So we can read them verbatim.
But there's a few things where I just go, I don't understand why you don't do this. Because to me, it's not arguable that this is the right decision.
Well, we had this discussion last episode.
Sure.
And the conclusion, the starting point was that Babcock is a smarter hockey mind than any of the three of us combined.
Yeah.
For the next 100 years. We could study the game. We probably won't be Babcock. So, on the decisions in terms of lineup and playtime and play strategy, there's probably something greater going on.
Probably. Yes.
Probably.
No, definitely.
Definitely. 100%.
100%.
So we can't really fault him for that. So
No.
It's not is it worth criticizing?
Here's what's worth criticizing.
Okay.
Marleau, Kadri, Marner. Whose pants just moved? That is such an amazing idea for a line.
Sure.
2 genuine, bona fide goal scorers, responsible, and a player just blossoming with creativity and playmaking skills.
And my response to that is, you own NHL 18. Go try it there.
You know what? It's sick there. And therefore it applies. It's fine.
If Babcock thinks it would have been or thought it would have been a good idea, he would have done it already.
Why doesn't he think it's a good idea?
Because there is a grander thing going on here.
Is the grander thing involves Komarov playing 20 minutes a night?
It's
does. Not fair to Komarov is what it is.
Komarov probably loves it.
I don't think
Because he's like, oh yeah, this extra minute will get me an extra minute wherever I get traded to.
Points. I mean, minutes might get you a little bit, but points get you more. Like, people forget, Komarov scored 14 goals last year.
That's not too bad.
He's not as futile offensively as he's come across this season. But, like, Marleau can get a few goals in a shutdown role. Kadri can get a few goals in a shutdown role, although he's struggled really bad.
What has happened with him?
I think it's a little bit of bad luck.
Yeah.
Like, he set up Marleau for a couple gimmies, and Marleau got robbed both times.
Yeah,
I think
it's
over
shocking
2
that
different
he
games.
doesn't even have an assist in that time period.
He got a secondary assist on the...
Last night?
Yeah, here's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So, Kadri got a secondary assist on the Carrick winner.
Mm-hmm. His first one since November.
Yeah, so I don't remember who keeps charts like this, but they count primary points, and the way they show it is goals, and then separately is primary assists, and then separately is noise, which is secondary assists.
Noise?
Noise. They call it noise.
That's what they call it.
So what happened was Kadri's behind the Sens net, and he throws the puck out front. Okay. I think he was going for one of the forwards. Komarov completely misses it. Well, no, almost completely misses it. He ever so slightly tips it. Puck does manage to make its way back to the point. Carrick shoots it and scores. Komarov got the primary assist on that.
Which he earned.
He tipped a pass. He didn't even tip a shot. He tipped a pass.
Okay.
Come on. Anyway, Where was I going? With that?
Let's read your tweets from yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
So, at what point did you tweet these out? Second intermission?
This was a few minutes, 2 minutes tops after the Sens made it 3-1. And Mrs. Dangle tweeted after I was done my little tirade, it's been a solid 15 minutes since I spoke to her. Well, she was sitting behind me.
Do you usually talk to her during games?
Sure.
Oh, yeah?
All the time.
I thought you'd be, like, laser focused and just yelling at your phone.
No, sometimes, like, what annoys me is when she's like, here, look at this. Because she's on her phone or something.
It has
and I'm
nothing
like,
to do with
no.
the game, yeah.
Hey, Steve, can you get me this? No, I can't.
There's a 3-on-1. Kadri has the puck.
There's intermissions. There's TV timeouts. Yeah, but I want it. Oh, you get it. Or right. Wait. Those are your two options. The game's on.
You should probably read these tweets. Do you want me to read them to you so you know how crazy you sound?
Absolutely. Because I'll soften them up.
All right, narrate them for me after I read them.
Okay.
Provide context. Steve Dangle, here we go after the Leafs made it 3-1.
I'm super pissed.
1, playoffs, question mark? Probably. So cool. 2, cup, question mark? LOL. No. You stink, so stop. 3, trade Bozak, call up and insert Altonen? If he's good, great. If he stinks, who cares? Wait for summer.
Which is just a great idea. I'm sorry.
And this is supposed to be 4, but you listed it as 5.
Yes.
So, typo, 5. 11, these are your line combinations.
Yes.
Okay. So 11, 34, 29.
That's Hyman, Matthews, Nylander.
12, 43, 16.
The Nazmar line.
That's what you want to see.
The MarKadMar line.
And then 25, Altonen, 28.
JVR, Altonen, Brown.
15, 33, 47.
Martin, Goat, Leo.
That's your ideal lineup.
Yes. Well, no. My ideal lineup does not have 15.
Yeah, I was about to say, I love how you still have Matt Martin in there.
But that's why, that is what makes it's even more frustrating with Babcock is my ideal lineup isn't even my ideal lineup because I know he would never go with it. So I'm like, okay, how about this? I'm trying to mentally compromise with a person I'm not even talking to.
And knew you would never have this conversation with?
Absolutely not. He'd be, okay, yeah, that's great. You're an idiot, so get away from me.
Do you want to explain again what you were doing? You were having a conversation.
I was having a meltdown is what I was doing.
In your head with a guy who's in the TV. And you're trying to compromise with him by feeding him a bone, by putting Matt Martin in your fictional lineup.
What's wrong with that? You've never yelled an order at a sports game?
Number 5.
I was doing it all night.
Number 5. Make Polak captain. Why not? Question mark. I assume that's sarcasm.
That's just me being a jerk.
All right, this was your second tweet. How in a row, like how was the time difference between these tweets?
Not many. 2 minutes.
So you were just kind of blasting them
I was
out.
just angry.
I know I put 5 twice. Just shut up for a second. So you did know. Marlo Kadri Komarov.
I was sick of everyone's shit. I uploaded a Freddie Anderson video that day and everyone's talking about a strand of hair.
Nobody even paid attention to the video.
Yeah.
You had a hair loose. Marlo Kadri Komarov has looked okay tonight. Overall, it's silly that they're the shutdown line. They scored 27, 32, and 14 goals respectively. That's last year.
Yeah, I should have added that.
Interesting point about that line. They were the line that was on with a minute to go after 2 timeouts and Leafs up 4-3.
Which makes sense. They're the shutdown line.
Does it make sense?
Well, I was thinking about that. Who would I have out there?
The second line. Would you not?
Which one's the second line?
The Bozak line.
No.
Why
God,
not?
no, because they stink in their own end. And gone are the days of Bozak being the defensive face-off stalwart that he was. He's kind of struggled with the new face-off rules. Matthews was on there for the last face-off, I noticed. He's had good face-off numbers this year. Nylander's had good face-off numbers this year. I think Kadri's had good face-off numbers this year. The Leafs, over the streak, have actually dominated teams in the face-off spot. I think it was something like 70-30 against the Blues. They killed them. So I'm not worried about that. But they call that line the shutdown line.
Okay.
Just saying.
I saw Nylander take a couple faceoffs over Matthews. Like they were both on the ice, and Nylander would take a couple faceoffs, which is interesting.
So here's what they do, and not every fan knows this, and some of you are going to be like, "Why are you saying this?" Shut up. It's not for you. when the face-off is on the left.
Shut up, you.
Yeah, when the face-off is on the left side of the ice, Matthews, the left-hander, takes the face-off. When the face-off is on the right-hand side of the ice, Nylander, the right-hander, takes the face-off.
Is it every single time?
Yeah, pretty much. Unless one of them gets kicked out. And that's another thing.
Which happens every single time.
Babcock loves the fact that each line has more than one center.
Yeah.
So Hyman was kind of bad at faceoffs at the beginning of the year on account of he's not a center. Or I think he was in university, but that was a little bit of time ago, and it wasn't professional. So
also not the NHL.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can clear out some guy from like BU.
Whoopee.
Some like 24-year-old, doesn't matter. No, but now each line has at least two guys who can take faceoffs on it.
Which is something most teams don't have the luxury of. So
Exactly. One of the Leafs' penalty kill units doesn't have a center on it. But
Which
it's
one's that?
Komarov Hyman.
Oh, okay.
But both guys can take faceoffs, and both guys, I think, at one point or another throughout their pro careers, well, except for Hyman, I guess. Hyman played center in university. Komarov played it in either Finland or Russia. I'm not sure.
Okay, let's get back to your tweets.
Yeah, sorry.
This is your third tweet in your string of I'm upset Steve tweets.
I was mad.
Marner has played with JVR and Bozak or the fourth line his whole pro career. He has defensive blemishes? You don't say, in all caps. Stick his creativity with two dynamic, responsible goal scorers in Marleau/Kadri and grab some popcorn.
Yeah, I just think it's such an ideal matchup for Marner. Or match for Marner, not matchup.
He was playing okay.
He played good yesterday.
Yeah, he played good. I still feel like he's trying all this crazy shit.
Yeah, well, and if he missed, can you imagine if on the toe drag he doesn't even get the shot off?
Yeah,
The thing you risk with that move is if the goalie follows you, then you have nothing.
I thought when he did the little move, he was going to get too far. You know when they get like too far towards the red line?
The thing that happens most of the time.
And then he's going to not have any net to shoot at. But he did it. It looked very pretty.
It was extremely pretty, and it tied the game.
Yeah, it was very nice.
I felt good about it.
But yeah, I don't know if Babcock was too happy afterwards. Who knows? Well, you got to be happy if he scores, but who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Babcock is smart enough that, at least publicly anyway, he wouldn't say a single thing about that. He knows what perception is. Maybe privately, he'd be like, I would have gone with something else. I know it worked that time, but, I'm just saying that's a low percentage shot you took.
Very low percentage, but it worked. So, yeah, at least one. And then the final tweet in your string of 4 tweets of upsetness. Offer up Bozak for Ian Cole and see how far it is from working. Tell Cole he doesn't have to try to make the Leafs defense great again because it was never great to begin with.
That was just an unnecessary shot there at the end. But no, I think that makes some sense. Because Bozak recently has not been good. He hasn't been good. And what I've heard people talk about is, and what I've said myself, it's so important to be at least 3 lines deep and 3 centers deep. But unless Bozak's good, the Leafs don't really have that. And people keep talking about, well, heading into the playoffs, you can't get rid of Bozak. Watch them. He hasn't been good. The third goal was his fault, in my opinion. Gardner's in the corner with a penalty killer, attacking him. Marner goes in for the second guy to outnumber him. Bozak did a shoulder check, saw someone was there, and then chose to ignore them.
Well,
and went in for what, a 3-on-1? What are you doing? So I didn't think that made much sense.
So what's the replacement level if you get rid of Bozak? You're replacing him with Gauthier. I assume on that line.
No, I think you keep Gauthier down there. You keep Gauthier and Moore in rotation.
Okay.
You still have Moore.
Who we forget sometimes.
Yeah. Moore's there as like an injury replacement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You call up Altonen and see what you have. What happened to this guy who almost made the team? And he's been playing well as of late in the minors with the Marlies. In the minors in the Marlies. Which one is better?
Same thing.
Doesn't matter.
In the minors with the Marlies.
Yeah.
But is that the time you want to trade your third line center? Like, what are you getting rid of him for? I feel like you have a better shot if you stand put with what you have because what you have is solid.
But it hasn't been playing that way, is what I'm saying, Brooksy. Like, I don't know. I would hate to lose all three of these guys for nothing. JVR, I totally get it. Komarov, I totally get it. I mean, you're not. What ridiculous fantasy world do you live in where you think Mike Babcock's Leafs are going to get rid of Leo Komarov during this season?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Bozak, though, I mean, maybe. I see it.
So, but then you're bringing up a guy. How old is Alton? How many career games does he have?
In North America, not many.
Yeah, you're bringing him up for your playoff run,
and that has a lot, and he's mediocre.
But is he going to play more solidly with the team? And I think he would in the playoff situation.
How about this? You call up Oltonen. Hopefully, he's at very least Bozak. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's even a little less. But you get what you get for Bozak.
And what is that?
If it's Ian Cole, could be an improvement to the Leafs defense. I'm not really sure.
You have enough defense to cover where you don't need Ian Cole.
Okay, well, maybe it's something else. I don't know. Jesse, I'm trying something, anything.
Yeah.
And again, this is the Leafs. All we have is our imagination.
For sure.
Because there's no rumors.
Yeah.
There was that one thing out of Vancouver that wasn't even acknowledged for Goodbranson. And it's for Goodbranson. There's nothing.
I just don't think Bozak's bringing you back anything where it's worth taking him out of the lineup. Because he's not going to bring enough where you get anything on defense that's going to really help.
I do at very least want to see what Altonen's made of at the NHL level.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we never really got to see that. The trade-off there, though, is Gauthier's been really good. I've really liked Freddie Gauthier. I was happy to see him get a goal the other day. But more importantly, he's been playing well. I was a little bit surprised he wasn't out there at all in the final minute. Mm-hmm. But Babcock a few times, and it hasn't cost the Leafs, so no one said anything, has thrown the Matthews line out there in the final 10 seconds just to be like, well, have fun. Just throw the baby in the pool, see if it swims.
Go see what you can do.
It was such a big story against the Red Wings in the Centennial Classic because the Red Wings, the Leafs kept bending, and then they finally broke. Mm-hmm. He's done that a few times this season. I want to say he did it in that Carolina game where the Leafs also almost choked. But they ended up handling it, so it wasn't a story. And then they did it again, so it wasn't a story. Yeah, sorry, that was a very long way of
So
saying.
your 4 tweets that happened after 3-1, we're still there. But,
when I was writing this anticipating another loss.
Yeah.
And when you lose that many in a row, and that many out of the last 10 or 15, whatever, it's time for some fresh ideas.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to throw out there.
I could just explode.
Why not? Explode productively. I was trying to... Hey, but why not try this? Why not try that? Why not try that? I wasn't like, trade everyone, these bunch of bums. I was like, trade this one specific person so that you can evaluate the talent level of this guy.
Final question on your 4 tweets before we get to Borgman.
Yes.
Do you still believe everything you tweeted out?
Yes.
Even though they won? Even though they came back?
Yeah.
Yes?
I mean, I'm not enamored with the idea of getting Ian Cole. I threw his name out there. I would like to see Bozak for a deal that makes sense. And if that deal doesn't exist, then of course you keep him.
Okay.
Which it sounds like that'll be the case.
And that lineup looks like a pretty good lineup. Only if Babcock would call up Steve Dangle and listen to him,
You never know.
So Borgman.
Yes.
A little bit of a dirty hit?
No.
No?
No, I don't think.
No?
That's a 2-minute interference minor.
Interesting.
I agreed with the ref's call.
I was going to ask the question. Do you think Borgman's a little bit of a dirty player?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not.
Because the broadcast seemed to think that this has been a couple times where...
Yeah, they were wrong.
He's had a few hard hits on guys.
He's had a few hard hits, for sure. Oh, he's a hard hitter.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
And he's developing a reputation of a hard hitter.
Good.
And once you do that, do you become a dirty player?
No. You know who has a reputation like that? Nicholas Kronwall. Or at least vintage Nicholas Kronwall. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. No, Zach Smith didn't have possession of the puck.
Okay, yeah.
interference. It's interference, but like it wasn't targeting the head or anything.
He did get a little piece of the head.
Yeah, but it wasn't the primary point of contact. There was no apparent injury on the play because Zach Smith got flattened there, but the guy in the corner who took the attention of Gardner, Marner, and Bozak that led to the shorthanded goal was Zach Smith. He was out there killing the penalty that occurred because he got flattened, which I feel like is a raw deal for him, and he was probably happy to come away with the goal. No. I mean, not every dirty hit means fine or suspension. That's what penalties are for, and I thought that was a penalty.
Okay.
It was, I thought, a little bit ironic that the Leafs got a power play out of it because the rules are weird.
Yeah, it's 4 for...
Like, that's strange to me. Like, here's... Okay, so Dangle drops his gloves and starts feeding Borgman. So he gets 4 for roughing. Borgman gets 2 for interference, which makes sense. But logically, here's what the penalty should be. Borgman gets 2 for interference. Dangle gets 4 for roughing, but it's 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. And then at the end, both Borgman and Dangle have to stay in the box. I don't know.
I don't know.
No, it's stupid and could never happen. But why couldn't that just be coincidental minors?
Yeah,
you were wrong and you were wrong. Both of you sit.
But like we can't complain.
But Dangle was wronger.
he was wronger. He started a fight on an illegal hit. Right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know, slashes are illegal too, and you get 2 minutes for that. Like, is that a fight?
I don't know.
As well? Like, I don't know. Part of me is like good. But again, I was gonna say fighting a guy for a clean hit, but it wasn't exactly a clean hit.
No.
I don't know.
Anyways, so Leafs win.
Sens got a goal out of it.
Final thoughts. We're 13 points up now on a playoff spot. I think it is.
It's
13 points clear of a playoff spot.
How is their lead growing?
When's their next game?
Tomorrow.
Monday, Colorado?
Colorado.
At home?
Who has won 9 straight. I think it's at home, yes.
Who are unbelievable. We're going to get to them a little later. There's a cool article I want to shout out. But final thoughts? Where do you think the season's going? Playoffs, Stanley Cup bound?
I hope we look back at this as a turning point in the season. Because it'd sure be nice. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, beating the 9-win-in-a-row Avalanche would be good, too, after this. That's how you build momentum, right? I think it would suck after such an emotional win to then lose the next game. You know?
So you're really rooting for them tomorrow?
Oh, my God, yeah. Like, I feel like it's something... Yesterday was something they can build off of. And if they lose, it doesn't against the Avalanche, it doesn't completely erase that. But if they win, I just think it makes it even better. Okay. It's a building block.
Erik Karlsson.
Yes.
Do you think he struggled last night?
Noted bum. In the games I've watched him this season, I haven't noticed him nearly as much. I mean, he scored a goal on the power play.
Yeah, but then his pass to no one up the middle or up the side when it led to the Carey goal. Did you notice that?
Yep. And honestly, he's gotten victimized by like a few Leafs recently. And Austin Matthews continues to like be his boogeyman. I've noticed in the game, like the Leafs have struggled so mightily against the Sens, but I noticed every game there's at least one play where it's Matthews Karlsson 1-on-1, and Matthews wins almost every time.
There was a play coming into his own on Nylander where he beat him, where he caught him flat-footed on it was on the power play, I believe.
Nylander, I thought, had a decent game too.
Yeah,
except for the second goal, but. And again, it's Erik Karlsson. Of course you want him. Of course. Okay, well, do you want to sign him to $11-12 million? Okay, do you want to trade 3 first-round picks for him? What? This is the interesting thing about the salary cap era, man.
Yeah.
Everyone wants skilled players. No one wants to pay for them.
So we haven't had a chance to talk about Pierre Dorian on Thursday, who said his work towards re-signing his best player is his current priority, but that Wayne Gretzky was once traded, and anything is possible.
Why does everyone say that?
Is there a there?
Is there a there?
Is there a there? Is there a
I think
shot?
something's
yeah.
there. They've mentioned a couple things in the media recently where the Sens would listen on Karlsson. Dude. Well, and what's funny is who would know better than the Sens what an enormous trade package looks like, right?
Yeah.
Because of the Duchesne deal. So the Sens are looking at what Colorado got, 7 items.
Yeah.
And they're going, okay, well, we're getting more than that. No, you're not. Like, I'm amazed.
No, you're not? For Erik Karlsson?
I don't know how you do it. Well, that's the great thing, the brilliant thing that Joe Sakic did that made the Duchesne trade work is it had to be 2 teams involved.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell do you create a sensible 3-player trade? Or, 3-team trade for Erik Karlsson? You can't. One team is not giving you 7 things for Karlsson.
No.
And if they only give you 7 things, you got as much for Karlsson as you gave up for Duchesne. As the Avalanche got for Duchesne. The Sens didn't give up that whole package.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, you just don't think they could ever get enough to justify it.
I can't imagine a team who has the quality and quantity in their pick and prospect covered or on their own roster to justify getting rid of Erik Karlsson.
Or no, getting Erik Karlsson.
Sorry. Yeah, getting Erik Karlsson. So stupid idea just occurred to me.
Okay.
I have no idea how this would work. No, it couldn't work. No, this is dumb.
What is it?
It's dumb, but I'll try it. No, it's dumb. But here's where I was going. I was like, okay, Duchesne and Turris were like sort of the same level of skill-ish.
Okay.
And then Colorado got all the picks. What if there was like a Karlsson, OEL, 3-way trade to be made?
See, I don't think you're that far off.
No?
I think that's a little reasonable.
I think OEL is the Turris.
Yeah.
The guy who is perceived as a little bit less good.
Not the big guy in the trade.
The second biggest guy in the deal. But still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Karlsson is Duchesne. And then your team. No, wait. No. Yes. Because you're getting Karlsson. And then the Sens or the Avalanche, where they just go, picks, please.
Okay.
But, I mean, aren't the Coyotes that team as well?
So they would. So, yeah, because it couldn't be.
See, because if we're doing a direct comparable, the Coyotes are the team that gets Karlsson.
No, because.
No?
No, yeah.
This is confusing what I'm doing.
Yeah, because the Duchesne, the Turris. No, well, Ottawa would still be Ottawa because Ottawa's not looking to sell off and be terrible. They're looking to sell and be good next year. Remember that first round pick?
They have to.
I wrote down here. If the 2018 first is a top 10 pick, which right now it looks like it will be, Ottawa will retain the pick and Colorado will receive the 2019 first round pick. So if Ottawa gets a top 10 pick this year, they have to be good next year because they don't have that first round pick.
You know how this works, right?
So, well, how does it work?
The Penguins are going to move. They're going to move. They're going to move. Crosby. Sens are going to move. They're going to move. They're going to move. Dahlin, sorry.
Dahlin.
And Karlsson resigns because, holy shit, Dahlin.
Karlsson resigns.
You have Team Sweden as your defense.
Karlsson has his 10-team no-trade list that he submitted. Do you think the Leafs are on that list?
That's a good question. Well, I'd also like to know when no-trade lists get submitted.
Well, remember they asked him for it?
Request?
Remember when they asked him for it?
Oh, right. So it's not at the beginning of the season. It's just whenever you're asked for it. You got to tell them 10 teams.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because I've heard of players who had previously, I don't know if they necessarily had a no-trade list, but they had previously said, whoa, don't fall down. They had previously said they would never play for the Leafs. But then the Leafs have had such a turnaround in the last year and a half where they're like, yeah, hell yeah, I'd play for the Leafs. Right? So I got to imagine, like, why wouldn't you want to play for the Leafs? If you're Karlsson, the main reason you don't want to play for the Leafs isn't because they're bad. It's because you're not certain they can pay you. Right? Because they already got.
Do you think he
Matthews
has any
to give big money to.
Do you think he has any like stake in the rivalry? Like, hey, I don't want to go play for those guys.
Yeah.
Because he would get booed mercilessly.
No, he wouldn't.
You don't think so?
Did you see the arena?
Oh, wow.
He'll get cheered. He'll get cheered in Ottawa no matter what. If he stays in Ottawa, he'll get cheered. If he goes to the Leafs, he'll get cheered.
That was crazy. Every time
there were no Sens fans there.
I felt bad for Phaneuf. He didn't decide to pay him all the money. He didn't. Well, I guess he maybe decided to be captain.
To it, but I mean, you can't hate on him for.
You can't. Somebody's willing to pay you a bunch of money. He didn't play up to his contract. He didn't bring us a Stanley Cup, but he was still a good player.
Good player.
He's a good player. You don't feel bad for him? Getting booed in your own building.
I feel bad for him, but like the boos weren't even that loud, and I'm not about to lecture fans for that.
They're loud if you hear him on TV. Every time he touches the puck. That's loud.
I feel like whoever was directing that game had to be like, Phaneuf has the puck, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Like turn up the crowd noise. Directors, have you ever been in a truck while they're calling a game?
Only a practice truck, like in university. Yeah. I've never done it live. Yeah.
So I've been in one for a couple games, and also this was incredible. It was the year after I graduated radio and TV at Ryerson. I knew this girl who was a year younger, and her practicum project, her big final project, was to do a full broadcast for a Marlies game. And she talked to Dome Productions, which is like the company that rents out these huge HD capable trucks where people sit in the room and they got their huge setup, and there's a director going, all right, camera 2, take 2, and doing all that. She managed to get Dome Productions to donate an HD truck for this. So the broadcast of the Marlies game that we did for that game was better than what the Marlies had at the time, because I don't think they had HD capability.
That's crazy.
She was so convincing. That truck that we used had been in Ottawa the previous night for an NHL game. And it drove to Toronto, and we got to use it. Where was I going with that?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So, sorry. I got to be in the truck for that. There have been a couple really clever, just tiny little minutia. Oh, there's that word again. For broadcasting recently. Did you see the Blackhawks?
So you think they turned it up for Phaneuf? You never got to that point.
I think they might have.
You think somebody in the truck yelled, all right,
if they're smart, they did.
It. Phaneuf's touching it. Turn it up. 4 dB.
I mean,
you think so?
Okay, they've already done it once or twice. 3 times. You see the trend? Phaneuf has the puck. All right, here, turn it up a little. So I'm thinking it was like boo.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Did you see the Blackhawks Islanders game where they turned the lights off?
Yeah, that was crazy. And the dude, I saw your tweet about it. Keep going.
Right. So what happens is Tavares has the puck. The lights turn off. Thank God no one was going for a hit on Tavares.
Imagine.
Oh my God.
No suspension. You couldn't see me. That would be my argument.
It would literally be like it wrestling. Like, oh. The lights went out, and there he is standing over him with a steel chair. It must have been him.
You can't do
it. So,
The Undertaker. Yeah.
Dung. So, the Flinter uploaded a clip of that with the Undertaker music and everything. But what blew my mind was Tavares has the puck. Lights go out. The camera changes. They changed the camera that they were on to the ISO cam that is just focused on Tavares.
Yes.
And then the lights came back on. And there's the ISO cam perfectly focused on Tavares. I'm like, man, the ISO cam followed him in the dark? That's so impressive.
That cameraman is very skilled.
Instincts. I would have thought instincts would kick in and be like, I can't see anything, pan out.
No.
Nope. Not that one.
He knew.
He knew.
Oh, I'm just going to follow Tavares. Anyways.
I don't know. I just thought that was brilliant. So, yes, I do think they turned up the volume for Phaneuf's booze.
So, I think Adam asked you this question last episode. Also, Karlsson's response to Pierre Dorian saying that Wayne Gretzky was traded, Karlsson's response after they lost to the Leafs was, when the time comes to make a decision, I will make one. But as of right now, it's not one.
I will make one.
I will make one. It's not up to you, Mr. Dorian.
Yummy. I love it. That's the funny thing about the Leafs is, like, how many teams in the NHL do the players have essentially no say? Like, you don't...
What do you mean?
Babcock is in charge.
Oh, okay.
And Lou is in charge of him. Mm-hmm. And for the players, like, they're a year and a half in and they're just starting to self-argue, self-govern. Whereas a GM is asked about trading his captain, and the captain's like, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how that goes. So
It's pretty ballsy. Like he's got some power. He's got some clout, right?
we're sitting here 2019, January 21st. Who does Erik Karlsson play for?
Boy. Who loses their mind?
It's a two-part question.
Okay.
It's January 2019 and then July 10th, 2019.
That's interesting.
Two-parter. Answer.
It's got to be someone who. What could you possibly. Like, I'm just trying to go through the Rolodex of teams. What could you possibly give up that would be even close to worth it for Karlsson? You have to give up a roster player.
Oh, yeah.
So the only. Nashville. Okay. Here's something that could start to make sense. So Nashville.
Don't say Nashville.
I'm going to. Nashville, can you imagine Karlsson, PK on the same team?
Oh, my God.
No, but here's how you
They
potentially
score
make
18 goals a game.
former first-round pick, and he's one of the better young players in the KHL right now. Eli Tolvanen is a prospect the Preds have. He's going to be sick. Ryan Ellis is a big, bad right-handed shot who they've done just fine without this season. So a package would have to start with Tolvanen and Ellis.
And then how many first-round picks do you give up?
9. I don't know. Is Karlsson? I'll throw in a third question. This time, 2 years from now, will Karlsson have played for 3 NHL teams? Because he might get traded to a team for an enormous package.
Yeah.
And then not stick around with that team. Like, I got to imagine any package for Karlsson contains an abundance of conditional picks. The condition being he's got to re-sign with us.
Yeah, like the Shattenkirk deal.
Yeah, like picks you don't mind giving up if he does re-sign with you. Like, I think back to the Ducks-Oilers trade for Pronger, where the Oilers got an extra first-round pick out of the Ducks because the Ducks made it to the Stanley Cup final. Well, if I'm fat and happy in the Stanley Cup final, I don't care. I don't mind giving you a first-round pick because I know I've won. Yeah. I got Chris Pronger, Scott Niedermayer, asshole. I'm fine. It's so how the hell do you predict what team he goes to?
You're on the side of he's not an Ottawa Senator.
No. Unless they get Dahlin. I think that's the only way.
So you're on the side of he is. He's sticking in Ottawa.
No, I don't think he's going to unless they get Dahlin.
Okay.
I think if they get Dahlin at worst for the Sens, they go, okay, let's see how the first half of this season goes.
Okay.
Because that's a franchise changer.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So does a potential of Karlsson and who cares as your first pair, Dahlin and who cares as your second pair, does that automatically throw you back into the top 3 of the Atlantic?
Also, it's Dahlin and Phaneuf.
Oh, right. And the Sens are looking at trading Phaneuf too.
Oh, yeah.
So if you do
$7
manage,
million,
if you do manage to get rid of Phaneuf, that makes it a lot more likely that you can keep Karlsson. I think Phaneuf's gone.
Yeah. At this point, you probably just get rid of Phaneuf for the bare minimum, just to get that money off the books and send it all to Karlsson, hopefully.
Boys and girls, this is why you don't trade away a first-round pick more than a year ahead of time.
Yes.
The Leafs have done it 3 times in my life, and
Wait,
every
Steve,
time it sucked.
I was going to ask, how many times has that worked out?
0.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Well, arguably 1. And I would still say 0. The first time they lost Scott Niedermayer, so that was bad. First time they lost Scott Niedermayer, which was actually better than the outcome of them losing Lindros.
In what way?
So here's what happened there.
All right, story time.
Sorry.
We're getting off track, but
okay,
we'll get back to Ottawa.
I'll go through it super quick. So the Leafs give up a first-round pick over a year ahead of time. That year comes around, and the Leafs suck. They're second last. on the verge of being last, which really sucks because
What year is this?
Whatever year Lindros was drafted first overall. 91? I think it was 90. 90 or 91.
90 or 91. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that sucks. So then you got the Leafs and
91.
Quebec. Yeah. So the Quebec Nordiques are last place. And the Leafs and Nordiques are talking. And the Leafs are like, we don't want to be last place. And the Nordiques are like, we very much want to be last place. There's no draft lottery. If you're last, you're first. Perfect. So
If you're not first, you're last.
So they made this stupid crap trade where the Nordiques traded their best players to the Leafs, who still weren't even that good, and the Leafs traded like some bums and picks to the Nordiques, so that it would basically confirm that the Leafs didn't finish last. So Nordiques pick first; they get Erik Lindros, and that turned out very
they
different.
Don't really get Erik Lindros.
The expansion San Jose Sharks pick second; they get Pat Falloon. And with the third pick, the New Jersey Devils select Scott Niedermayer. The Leafs gave Lou Lamoriello Scott Niedermayer.
Nice.
Yeah. The second time around, they trade a first pick over a year ahead of time. Yada, yada, yada. The New York Islanders select fourth overall Roberto Luongo. So the Leafs have so far traded Niedermayer and Luongo.
And
the
then-
third time was Tyler Seguin.
Kessel.
At least they got Kessel.
Yeah.
And he was second in NHL scoring last I checked. I think he might have dropped a tiny bit, but wasn't with the Leafs.
So,
Think about that. The Leafs are retaining on a top 10 scorer in the NHL this season. That sucks.
and you know what? We don't need him because
Matthews.
we have Matthews.
And with
So-
him, you have no Matthews.
With exactly.
It's Puljujarvi or something like that.
No, it's nobody because Matthews is everything.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Matthews is life.
So Sens, season's over.
I mean, come on. What are they, 18 points behind the Leafs now? Let's be real.
I forgot to write it down.
But if you're the Sens, you're like, well, I've done it before.
Let's check the standings and see. The Ottawa Senators currently have 39 points.
The Leafs have what, 57?
57.
Come on. Come on now. And let's pretend the Leafs completely free fall. You got to pass the Penguins, Islanders, Hurricanes, Panthers, Canadians, Red Wings. All right, have fun.
No, it's about looking towards next season for Ottawa, and that makes me a little sad.
Yeah, but
because they had such high hopes coming off that almost Stanley Cup Finals appearance.
it is sad. That's been the tough thing about being a Leaf fan with the Sens for the past couple of years is they've had so many great moments to cheer for. Like that was such a pesky team that could last year. A lot of Leaf fans were like, I didn't want them to make the playoffs the year they had Andrew Hammond. Yes, you did. And if you didn't, you had no heart.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Some AHL Civ got called up and magically turned into George Vezina and willed them to the playoffs single-handedly, along with Erik Karlsson. Like, come on. That was an amazing story. But I'm supposed to hate them.
It's you thought it would continue coming into this year, and it apparently hasn't. And there's a lot of problems there in Ottawa.
I mean, people said they would regress, but I don't think they even thought it'd be this much. Come on. Remember when they started the season incredible without Karlsson?
Yeah, and that lasted all of a month, half a month.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So they've been bad.
Carey Price, he went to a nutritionist in the fall. Did you see this?
No.
Carey Price came out and said that he suffered from fatigue for the first half of the season. And then he went to a nutritionist, and they discovered he had deficiencies in his vitamin D and B12.
I take one of those every day.
Yeah, as you should, because you are an NHL quality goalie.
I am.
I'm kidding. So he told TVA that I was always tired. A guy who eats well and sleeps well like me isn't supposed to be tired like I was. And apparently that 887 save percentage that he had for the first couple weeks of the season was as a result of this fatigue that he had.
And now he's fine?
And now he's a lot better. Yeah.
You don't think there's a little bit of placebo?
Is there
Maybe?
second time I'm going to say this. Is there a there?
I don't know how much of it there is there.
Is it a cute story? Was he actually struggling from fatigue and these vitamins worked?
Like as if you give the best goalie in the universe a couple vitamin D and B12 pills.
And now he's on a
back.
bunch of... Yeah.
He's fine now. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a lie that he had those things, but and I'm sure he did feel some fatigue, but like I'm sure there's other times in his career he's felt fatigue. The guy's been stopping, 40, 50 shots for his entire life.
But apparently it was never like this. This is from Erik Karlsson.
He's also 30. And
So-
maybe this is what we've been talking about.
What do you mean? Like it
He's
hitting
just
him?
getting older.
Yeah.
And wouldn't these deficiencies have just been there all the time? Or is this just like a natural part of aging?
I don't know. These are questions I don't have the answer to. But
I'm sure the listeners do. Excuse me. I am in my second year of something way too smart for you, Stephen. And here's something from a paper I wrote.
if he's not able to recover as well after practices and after games, it's definitely going to affect his performance because that's the storyline they're running with in this article.
I think they should test the rest of the team. I wonder how many other players on the Habs are fatigued.
Okay.
No, I believe it, but like I don't. That's confusing to me. Like, is that a condition he had, or is that just a natural part of aging?
The chronic fatigue was the condition. You're not buying
It's strange to me.
Yeah.
It's strange to me that Carey Price was suddenly a bum, and then, like, what all those NBA players in Space Jam took to get all their powers back was just a bunch of vitamin D and B12 pills, and they were
You
fine.
never know. I
I have a hard time believing that.
I think the lesson here is take your vitamins, kids.
Oh, definitely take your vitamins. That's a hangover tip, by the way.
Vitamins?
Vitamins
I had never tried vitamins.
the day after.
Chug Gatorade. That too.
Gatorade, yeah, but Gatorade gives you vitamins.
Does it? Is there vitamins in Gatorade? I have no idea what's in Gatorade.
It's a bunch of crap.
A bunch of shit. Electrolytes.
You need water too.
Oh, yeah.
You need water too.
need
I
water.
still swear by better than Gatorade, water and bananas.
Bananas. Bananas are just good for your everyday life.
They're great for you, but they're a wicked hangover cure. And I figured that out myself. Like, I was just like, you know what? Perfect cure.
Do you ever realize you're not an adult yet when you're still talking about hangover cures?
Adults get hungover.
Yeah,
You have to be an adult to legally get hungover.
that's very true. But I don't think if you're 21, you're getting hungover, you're an adult. Or I don't think if you're 30 and you're getting hungover, you're an adult.
I had some heartbeat hangovers when I was 21, so I don't know.
I feel like once you hit a certain age where you're like, okay, I'm not gonna drink enough to get hungover, then you're an adult.
I've met people in their 60s who have not had that revelation yet, Jesse, so
The Boston Bruins, a couple weeks ago, there was a question on our press conference page on our Reddit, and it said,
remind me to get back to that. Yeah.
what-
The
no,
Reddit page.
we can divert.
No.
Okay,
No.
okay, we can get back to that. But there was a question a couple weeks ago on our Reddit page that said something along the lines of, "Are you going to say sorry to Boston Bruins fans for saying they're a bunch of creative players before you started the season?"
No.
Because they currently have a point streak of points in 16 straight games. They're 12-0-4, and they just beat the Montreal Canadiens 3 times in the span of 8 days.
Wow.
And fans are calling for you, Stephen, to admit that the Boston Bruins are actually good.
I will admit that.
Okay.
They are actually good. Go ahead, though, and go to dailyfaceoff.com
Okay.
and look at the Boston Bruins roster. Because I wasn't saying the Bruins were a bunch of bums. I was saying they were broken. They
think-
lost 19 players at the beginning of the season, and they were using guys who I'd never heard of before.
I think if you're implying that the Boston Bruins have a bunch of creative players, you're implying that they're a bunch of bums in our season preview.
What if couldn't it be true that they used to be? Okay, here's their current lineup on. Oh, all of you, shut up. Here's their current lineup, okay? Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, David Pastrnak. That's one of the best lines in hockey. Jake DeBrusk, first-round pick. I know that name. David Krejci, Ryan Spooner. He was a first or second-round pick. I know that name. Danton Heinen is young, but I am aware of him. Riley Nash, I'm aware of. He's been in the league for a while. David Backes. Who doesn't know David Backes?
He's a guy.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Tim Schaller, Sean Curley, and Noel Acciari. So Acciari I've actually heard of. I don't remember from where. Tim Schaller I don't think I've ever heard of. Here's why it doesn't matter. Fourth line. Your fourth line is allowed to have people I've never heard of. Curly, I'm going to call him Curly. I specifically remember the game where I saw him where the Leafs beat the Bruins in overtime. Marleau scored the OT winner. I was there. Curly was the Bruins' second line center.
Oh, wow.
I specifically remember that.
There you go.
He's now their fourth. And you're better now. Weird.
Wow.
Weird that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So no, I don't apologize. Okay, here's your defense. Chara, yeah. McAvoy, one of the best rookies. Krug, yep. McQuaid, yep. Matt. Jesse, I want you to try.
I got this. Matt Grzelcyk. Nope.
Matt Gretzky and Brandon Carlo. I've definitely heard of Brandon Carlo. Hey, if someone's hurt, you're allowed to have one guy I don't recognize. I assume someone's hurt. Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you who it is. I don't apologize.
You're not going to say sorry to Bruins Nation?
I want them to apologize for even asking me to apologize. You're going to the Super Bowl again. You don't get to be sad about anything. Shut up.
The Boston Bruins are currently 27-10-8, which is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. And what's more ridiculous is what if they pass the Lightning?
3 points back. They got a game in hand.
Here, I don't know how you would look this up. Look up the Lightning on Twitter. Like, do a Twitter search. This is so hard without Adam, right? Do a Twitter search. The Lightning have been outscored. Because I know there was a tweet that had that in it. The Lightning have been outscored. Since Victor Hedman got injured, they've been getting killed.
Adam's tweeting.
He's bored.
These are from like 20. This is terrible podcast.
Yada, yada, yada. They've been getting killed without
Hedman
in the lineup. Now, that might just be a little slump. But what if it turns out to be something real and the Lightning go on a, 3 to 6 week skid because Hedman's out of the lineup for that amount of time, I think. What if the Bruins surge ahead of them, Lightning aren't able to catch them by the end of the season, and the Leafs end up having to play the Lightning in round 1? Boo. Boo.
Sorry, I was still trying to find it, but I will give up. No.
I just give up.
Okay.
They haven't done well. They haven't done Lightning well. Asterisk, in the middle of that, they've played Vegas, who is like their boogeyman.
Who's everyone's boogeyman?
Everyone's boogeyman.
Vegas currently sits in the first place still, 30-11-4, 64 points. Now it's going to be a miracle if they don't win the division at this point.
This is what I'm saying, Brooksy. That's what, the Leafs got 2 out of a possible 4 points against Vegas, and that's more than most teams can say.
Yes.
And the Leafs, meanwhile, Vegas earned 3 of 4.
What's currently their home record?
Oh my God. Are they still? No, they lost a game there recently, I think. I don't know what their wins.
Yeah, how many losses and
wins? I'm gonna say 18. I'm gonna say 18-2-2. No way! What? Shut up!
I don't know how you did that.
Shut up! Oh, what a shot in the dark! Nailed it! Bang on!
Yeah.
I swear to God, I didn't look that up. I swear to God. I didn't even know how many games they had played at home. I just threw that number.
I don't know how you did that.
Wow. So yeah, I think.
Well, hold on.
Since we, oh no, don't tell me.
What year?
Oh no.
Was Victor Hedman drafted?
2009.
What
Second
position?
overall.
Second overall. All right.
Behind John Tavares.
What is?
Oh no.
38 divided by 3.
Oh, don't go doing this to me, man. Oh.
14. No, that's too unfair.
No, that's ridiculous.
What's 38 divided by 3 to 1 decimal point?
Oh, okay. And as you look it up yourself, well, 30 divided by 3 would be 10.
I'll reset the cameras while you think about that.
And 8 divided by 3 would be... Wouldn't it be 2.6? I think 2.66. So I guess that would be... Well, no, it couldn't be. No. Wouldn't it be the opposite? I would have to subtract? No, that's not how that would work.
What's your final guess of 38?
Oh, wait, no, it's 30. No, wait, I think I have it. Yeah, I think I got it right.
38 divided by 3?
No, it's 12. I'm going to say 12.66.
Steve Dangle.
Yes? What is the answer? Yeah! I did it! Look at me, everyone! I did it!
He did it! He's going to the Super Bowl!
Adam, you're never allowed back on the show ever again! Bangers!
The Tom Brady of math!
Yeah, I can't wait for the conspiracy theories to come out that the Band-Aid on his throwing hand is actually helping him grip.
Oh my God.
The first thing I thought of when I looked at that, I'm like, that's a disadvantage? I don't know, but
his hand has stitches in it.
That can't be comfortable.
It's gotta be uncomfortable.
That's gotta suck.
That's why
like, it's not just a cut anywhere. It's like such a sensitive part of your body, right?
I love the fact that no one is running with that storyline. Because if it had been anyone else, it would have been, he overcame stitches in his hand to lead his team to the Super Bowl. But because it's Tom Brady, no one's giving him that credit.
You know what? I don't think you've been on Twitter since they won the game.
I haven't.
Because we started
doing this.
I'm gonna look up Brady stitches right now.
Is everybody giving him credit for being the hero who overcame stitches in his hand?
You're gonna have to wait a while, Jesse, because I'm on my broken phone. So.
Oh, is your iPhone broken?
Yes.
The best thing about that episode was the tweets about people saying your iPhone was broken. Because apparently you didn't make it clear enough that your iPhone was broken.
Let me see.
Do you see the tweets? Are there tweets on the Twitter?
There's the usual adoring stuff coming out of New England.
Adoring things about how much they love Tom Brady?
Basically.
Sorry, I paused to read a tweet, which I shouldn't do while you were reading tweets.
Okay, here's what I'm going to search. Brady advantage.
This is terrible podcast, by the way.
No, it's great, actually.
We need to get back to Patrick Kane.
Okay, Skip Bayless said, let's see what before he needed 10 stitches in his throwing hand, I had Brady by 10. Now I have him and his Patriots surviving by 3. He looked, he didn't have it. Okay, this is your last shot. Final one. Brady, unfair. Let's look this up.
One more hockey thing to get to and then the press conference.
Brady, unfair.
How's your Fit been working out?
Been good.
It's been good? You like having a Fitbit?
I do.
Apparently it's not accurate because you ran in your chair last time.
No, it's super good. I couldn't find anything. It was just like, Brady's so good, it's unfair.
Okay.
Fart. Yes, Jesse?
Last hockey thing before the press conference. Do you have any hockey things you want to touch on? Anything you want to share with the listeners before?
None I can think of.
Bring up this last point?
Well, I suppose there was a really, really, really nice message on our Reddit page. Did you see it? It was just like to Steve Dangle.
No. Do you want me to read it out?
It was super nice. And it was basically... No, you don't have to read it. It's really long.
Oh, okay.
And also, it's just like, hey, Steve, you can do it.
Is it just jerking you off there, Steve?
Yeah, like I don't need... I wasn't going to phrase it like that, Jesse, but like, I don't know. It's already called the Steve Dangle Podcast. I don't need to be like, I'm great, everybody. And here's a message from someone who says I'm great. Dear great guy, here's how great you are. No, it was basically... I think you might actually find this interesting. Because they said something and then a bunch of people were like, yeah, I noticed that too. They're like, I've noticed Steve's been really down lately.
Aw.
And he's been really down on himself.
Yeah, you've been beating yourself up a lot. That's very true.
But I feel like that's not out of the ordinary. I guess I've picked it up.
All right, we're going to have...
What?
We're going to have a talk, Steve.
Why are we having a talk, Jesse?
Steve Dangle.
Yeah, I've already been psychoanalyzed by Adam.
Have you? Does Adam do that to you occasionally?
He's good at it. Thank God I talked him out of doing that psychology program that he wanted to do.
Also, I have to ask you about the wedding after this. I guess we have a couple
right,
things to
yeah.
get
Didn't
to.
you start to ask me about weddings, and
Yeah,
then I
and
completely
then-
started talking about sneezes? And
And then,
I'm sorry.
So we need to get to that too. Steve Dangle,
yes,
it's not your fault. You live an incredible life with 2 dogs, one named Diggy, one named Charlie.
yes,
They're beautiful golden doodles.
they are
They're called golden doodles because they are golden
doodles.
doodles. And you have a lovely wife named Mrs. Dangle,
It's golden.
who is even more golden than your dogs.
Mm.
For a living, you talk about a hockey team.
I work at the toy store.
You work at a toy factory.
Wow.
You live the life of the little boy named Charlie on Willy Wonka, who was given the entire chocolate factory.
Jesse, he was like a poor kid for
You-
most of that book. His dad worked at the toothpaste factory tying on the top of
Steve Dangle?
toothpaste.
Sometimes I think you once lived in a toothpaste factory,
No.
but you have risen to live in a Sportsnet toothpaste factory where you get to make videos for a living and talk about your favorite team.
Yeah.
And I think every once in a while, if you stepped out of yourself and picked up a copy of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and read the book of Little Charlie, you would realize that you are that boy and you are at the end of the book where you have won the Chocolate Factory and you are currently living in it. That you would be a lot happier if you lived in that chocolate factory every once in a while. That is my message to you, Steve Dangle.
For the listeners, yeah? You still sick of the phone talk? or do you want some more of that?
It's either that or we yell about iPhones and Androids.
Here, Jesse.
What are you looking up?
Here's why I've been down on myself, okay? Here's a paragraph from something Charlemagne the God posted on Instagram shortly before we started recording. It is a spiritual as well as a psychological fact. We move toward what we see in our minds. Your life will follow your expectations. What you expect is what you will get. If you raise your level of expectancy, you will enlarge your vision. This could be the day you see your miracle. So if I sound down on myself, it's because I've raised my own bar. I expect to be better. And I failed to achieve that in 6 hours with a microphone, and I got upset about it. But now I got a plan, and I'm better. I'm good.
I know I should always take my life advice from random radio hosts in New York.
Random radio hosts.
He's
He's accomplished. He's a bestseller, New York Times.
That's cool. So are a lot of people. I
You're
just
right.
think
Him and Coulter, they're the same people.
so. I assume Donald Trump will write his name on a book one day, and it will be a #1 bestseller. Should you take advice from him?
A list of my favorite cats
Why
by
did
the president.
you went Arnold Schwarzenegger on that? Your Donald Trump needs some work.
Yeah, a list of my favorite cats.
Anyways, Steve, maybe your expectations are in the wrong place. Maybe you should expect less and achieve more.
I feel.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think that's how that works. No, look, it's like I said before. I don't feel cheated or disadvantaged or anything. I just expect more of myself. I don't want to get complacent.
Oh yeah, but you can do that without getting down on yourself. Is all I'm trying to say.
I know. There's a fight. Listen, there's a Patrick Marleau in my head, and there's a bunch of rookies in my head.
Use getting down on yourself, beating yourself up as your motivator. That's a bad way to motivate yourself.
I agree, but it's hard. Sometimes it takes your support group around you,
Yes.
good friends like Adam and Jesse,
Yes.
my wife,
Uh-huh.
friends,
Okay. It's a bad feedback loop.
Reddit.
Because if every time you need to motivate yourself, you feel bad, then you'll just keep doing that thing. Next time you achieve something, you'll feel bad again. And you're like, all right, I feel bad. Now I can feel good and accomplish this thing. You don't want to get stuck in that habit loop where every time you need to accomplish something, you're feeling bad. You need to find your happy ways to push yourself.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Here's good life advice. You are a bad focus group.
What does that mean? Oh, yourself?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's terrible.
You're a terrible focus group.
Yeah.
You and your friends, that's a good focus group.
Mm-hmm.
You, bad focus group.
No.
It's also not a group.
You're only a bad focus group if your mind is stuck in the, okay, I'm shitty, I got to get better way, instead of just, okay, I'm at this level of this thing, time to get to this thing, not I'm shitty at this thing, time to get to this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, there was a little bit of YouTube drama. Did you want to talk about it, or do we not have time?
You can talk. Yeah, we can talk about it. We have all the time in the world.
The story that, did you send it, or Adam?
Adam said, I didn't watch it or read it or anything, so I don't know what happened.
Well,
yeah.
if you didn't read it, I don't know how good it is.
Okay.
There's this YouTuber.
You can explain it. Yeah.
I'll explain it. There's this YouTuber out of, I want to say somewhere in the UK. I'm pretty sure she's like a fitness model or something like that. She had 87,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, a lot, but like, that's not crazy. She doesn't have a silver button.
No. That's a lot of subscribers, yeah.
I got 73. Like, I'm not...
Which is a lot.
I'm not that far behind her. But she's got a lot more Instagram followers than me. And if you look at her pictures, you understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, she had a big kerfuffle recently because she emailed a hotel in, I don't know, Ireland or something like that, asking for a free stay at the hotel in exchange for exposure on her YouTube channel and exposure on her Instagram.
I'm rolling my eyes for anybody who can't see.
Yeah. So her, again, she has 87,000 subscribers on YouTube. I want to say her Instagram was 75 something. Okay. So that's like 3 times the size of mine, whatever. She asked for a free stay at the hotel. And the hotel that had a much more popular like Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, like bigger social platform than any of the things she had, except for maybe IG. And obviously they didn't have a YouTube channel. Why would you have a YouTube channel for a hotel? They were like, no.
We don't need your freeness in our hotel.
Now, here's the thing. They posted her email on Facebook, making fun of it. Oh. Here's the other thing. They blanked out her name. Oh. Which I think is the right way to do it.
Yeah. They said, look at this ridiculous email. Haha, everybody on Facebook page, go laugh.
She makes a video going, I was exposed by this terrible hotel. And oh my goodness, how could they? And if you got to read the article, Jesse, I feel like it's exactly the sort of thing you would love. I hate everyone involved in the story because she's awful. And talking about, I was attacked for just doing my job. Like you're a steel worker.
Yeah.
I was just doing my job. And I got hurt on the job. Like, relax. You're a YouTuber.
And somebody didn't want to give you a free thing.
Yeah. The owner of the hotel, though, is the sort of guy who, like, sells shirts making fun of you if you're, like, gluten intolerant. Aww. And he, like, banned bloggers. And
is he also a shitty person?
Entitled generation of course you want everything for free. And I'm like, all right, I was totally willing to be on your side, sir. And now I find out you're a chode as well. Here's where my Logan Paul insecurity comes back in. And it was very temporary because, again, I've gotten better over the past week. This person in the story, it's only broken over the last week. This person had 87,000 YouTube subscribers. She's already up to, last I checked, 93. So she's gone up like 6,000 since
getting some attention.
Her videos typically, unless it's like a bikini video, typically, those videos got somewhere between 70 and 80,000 views on average, I noticed.
Oh, you've done a kind of a deep dive into this.
I just went and looked.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I certainly didn't click play on any of them. And lasted longer than 10 seconds. I was like, oh my God, I'm so bored.
No, that definitely didn't happen.
No. A lot of her recent like video blogs and stuff had like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, some 50,000. A little bit bigger than me, but whatever. Yeah. They're like in the same ballpark at very least. The video she did about this hotel thing, 1 million views.
So it worked.
Which means it's gone up probably a couple 100,000 today. And I looked up, I went on, there's a site called socialblade.com where you can type in a YouTube channel and find out facts about them. Word to the wise, it's not that accurate, but I can deduce from that site and from my own YouTube channel, this girl has probably profited from that video alone, just that video, $6 or $7 grand.
Which isn't a bad chunk of change.
No, it's just, so out of this stupid experience, how many hotels stays can you get for $6 or $7 grand? and she's gained 6,000 more subscribers. And I was just like, it sounds to me the best way to become a successful YouTuber is to be a relatively awful person.
She is in the business of going viral and being obnoxious.
Yeah, as of Wednesday. Like, this is the thing. Like, she was just some regular boring YouTuber to me.
But she nailed this phenomenon of the internet now, where it's, hey, I'm going to make this huge deal out of nothing and go viral and be obnoxious, and then people will pay attention to me. Whether or not I have substance, whether or not I'm being creative, whether or not I'm saying anything at all, people are watching.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Hooray.
And she nailed that with that video, and you don't want to do that because then you're a terrible person.
I don't want to do it. But
you should.
I can't help but be a grumpy old man looking at this whole thing and just going, I hate you so much.
It's good that you're grumpy about it.
Yeah.
It would be worse if you were like, hey, I can do that.
That's a great idea.
Exactly. So it's good that you're grumpy. Be happy with yourself that you're grumpy. Yeah. I think that's a good way to look at this.
That was the one story where I'm like, I kind of wish Adam would come in.
Yeah?
Because
he could dump on her for fucking 20 minutes?
Well, yeah, because here's how it would go if it was just the three of us. Adam would get really worked up, like along with me. But then I find when Adam and I start getting worked up, I usually find my level and I go, okay, I'm not going to get more worked up than this. Adam can't help it.
And then
he
Adam
goes all the way up here.
Boils over,
And then whenever he just starts to calm down, you go, all right. And just poke the bear. And I think it would have been great.
Just being a dick at that point.
Hey, man, when you got a niche, that's your niche.
I was telling you before the show that I'm gonna not poke the bear as much.
No, 2018. Jesse, from day one, I've been trying to get you to talk more.
I think I'm gonna talk less 2018 hashtag.
No, I mean that's not a bad hashtag. I just don't think it should apply to yourself.
Okay, let's get to Patrick Kane. This was written on our Reddit page from Blackhawks_Roses. Of course, they have Blackhawks in their names. They wrote, Patrick Kane. I assume they wrote it in this voice. Patrick Kane has scored his 800th point in his 786th game last night. Only 4 other players have scored more points with the Blackhawks. And those are Stan Mikita, Bobby Hull, Denny Savard, and Steve Larmer. Period.
Okay. Wait, that's it?
They wanted you to know that Patrick Kane has 800 points.
Yeah, that's not shocking.
And they went on our Reddit page to write that.
I thought they were going to be like, so now would you say that blah, 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 blah. Is he a Hockey Hall of Famer?
I just think that it was important to note that the Blackhawks also currently sit 5 points out of a playoff spot.
Wow, really?
And there's 3 teams in between them, and they have no starting goaltender.
That's a shame. What do the Blackhawks selling look like?
Oh, God. It's not going to happen.
That's bizarre. There's also so much hockey left, right?
There is. But Patrick Kane has 800 points. And there was...
I could see them going out and getting a goalie. One rumor I've heard, well, not even a rumor, it's just something that makes some sense, is Robin Lehner. The Blackhawks could fit him.
Mm-hmm.
The Sabres, I mean, you might as well sell. You stink. And it sounds like they're a little bit sick of Leonard. That's the only reason you should do it. The Sabres, more than any team, should know that there is such thing as selling too much.
And
they should not still be this bad.
No.
Like, that's insane.
They should have been good at this point. Evander Kane's gone.
He's gone, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, like...
You can't just... Every year, all they do is get rid of everybody. Yeah. And eventually, you have to build and not just tear it down. Sometimes friends just text me random hockey questions. And one I got this week was, hey, what's Matt Moulson up to? And I was like, oh, what is Matt Moulson up to? And I was talking to him. I was like, well, the contract was never that smart. Like, when it got signed. It was 5 times $5 million, I think. And this year... I'm looking at his NHL numbers. He got like nothing with the Sabres. He stinks. And I see he's in the minors. And in the minors, he's got... Well, damn, he's doing pretty good in the minors.
So I wonder if the Sabres could somehow convince someone to take him.
Okay.
Or I wonder if after the Sabres sell off Kane, they then call up Molson. What if Molson has this resurgence and then maybe somehow you're able to finagle a trade in the summer? I think that could be interesting.
And then you continue to sell off.
Or Molson ends up being a decent part of your hopefully resurging team next year.
How about that? That'd be a lot better for the franchise.
How about that?
Shout out an awesome article on Sportsnet by Rory Boylan, who wrote about why the Colorado Avalanche are good now. It's a very good read.
What do you
read it? He had five key reasons about why they are good now. They're one of the oldest teams, and now they're currently one of the youngest teams. Last year, they were one of the oldest teams.
Oh, okay,
now
I got
they're
you.
currently one of the youngest teams. Carl Soderberg's shutdown line is leading the PK recovery. Nathan MacKinnon as an MVP candidate.
Absolutely.
Varlamov's bounce back. Bernier solid in relief. And Erik Johnson is healthy.
All correct.
Yes.
All absolutely correct. Now, this is the interesting thing that always bugs me is the Hart Trophy is not for best player. It is for most valuable player. Stamkos has Kucherov, and Kucherov has Stamkos. Who else in the race there is the one-man army that Nathan MacKinnon is?
No one.
I mean, it's not like he's got no help. Obviously, like Mikko Rantanen's had a really good year, and there's a few other guys in the Avs, but
he doesn't have a Kucherov. He doesn't have Stamkos.
No. Like McKinnon's crazy. I'd say right now, he might get my first place vote.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Right, I'm trying to think of someone who would be
I'm trying
better.
to pull up the point standings, but NHL.com's not the greatest.
Not right. And this is obviously as of Sunday night, and we haven't found out what happened in these games. All right. Here, you want to say it?
So it's 1, these are points leaders, 61, Kucherov, 2, 59, McKinnon, 57, Tavares, and 3, Giroux, 55, and 4, Kessel, 54, and 5.
Someone else I think you need to inject in the conversation is John Tavares, for sure, at number 3. Mm-hmm. And you can look and go, well, Josh Bailey is also a top 10 scorer. And to that, I would argue, Josh Bailey is probably partially a top 10 scorer because of John Tavares.
Well, Josh Bailey also has 12 goals and 41 assists. I wonder where those 41 assists are coming from.
John Tavares and Anders Lee.
Anders Lee is one of the greatest players of this generation.
I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it. I always love... this is one thing, and yes, you bet, I'm bringing it back to the Leafs.
Okay.
You know what the Leafs are lacking that could really make them a true contender? Is it's easy to have a first overall pick or a top 10 pick and have them be good. It's an upset if they're anything else. Or even a guy like Travis Dermott. He's a second-round pick. Came in with some clout, right? I think to be a contender, you need at least a couple guys who are great out of nowhere. You're like, how the hell is this person even in the league? Well, I don't know if Anders Lee is quite like that. I don't know much about his background, but you need a come out of nowhere player.
Yeah.
Connor Brown is sort of that.
Yeah, wouldn't you argue a guy like Hyman is?
Hyman is sort of
that.
that.
Who's on your first line?
Yeah, but neither of them is Anders Lee. You know what I mean?
Yeah. None of them is second place in year-over-year goals total.
Exactly. Exactly. Or, like, it doesn't even have to be a rookie. It could be like, Michael Grabner got 30 goals. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, it could be something like that.
Well, see, our roster isn't really constructed in a way where we need that. Because we have Kadri scoring 30 goals. We have Marleau there, you know? Well, not last year, but like we have our guys, and then we have our young guys, Marner, Nylander, Matthews, who are all high draft picks. We don't really need the guy to come out of nowhere. We need the guys we have to step up.
Well, like here's the example I was thinking of in my head. They insert Andreas Johnson in the lineup, and out of nowhere, 25 goals.
Yeah.
Now, to like the most hardcore Leaf fans, you go, that's not actually that shocking, because I've watched him play in the minors, saw what he did in Sweden. He's actually a sick player. Most people around the league would be like, who the frig is this? Mm-hmm. Who the hell is this guy? So I'm sure the Islanders knew they had something with Anders Lee for quite some time.
But not like this.
Come on, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we need someone who even their biggest fan is like, I didn't know they were this good. I'm a huge fan of Andreas Johnson. I wish he was on the Leafs now.
Mm-hmm.
But if he comes out and scores 25, 30 goals next year, I'd be like, oh, okay, I did not call this.
Anders Lee Part 2.
Here we go. Or like someone to be like an Uber Hainsey.
Mm.
Like, you know how Hainsey kind of came in and he's like, he's outperformed expectations?
Yeah.
The Leafs sign, throw it out there. Like, let's say the Leafs got friggin', I don't know, Trevor Daley, and he comes in and has a 40-point season as a defender.
Which is
for
crazy.
The Leafs. Trevor Daley's okay, but you didn't know 40 points, and that's a vet version of that.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
you need an out-of-nowhere performance.
to win a cup, you need that. To be a great team, you need the out-of-nowhere
so.
performance, yeah?
Yeah, and like the Lightning have some of those.
Mm.
Like, people have talked about how the Lightning draft so well and they develop so well. And I'm like, did you actually know Braden Point was this good?
Yeah.
You knew he was good. I don't think you knew he was this good.
Even Kucherov, when
That's
he's...
a 4th-round pick!
Thank you.
Or something like that.
Yeah, his deal is so nice because nobody expected him to be this top 5 in the league player.
Including himself.
Yes, he signed it.
Based on the money.
Yes.
Including himself. Yeah, so... And then those out-of-nowhere players can turn into just perennial stars.
Yeah.
It's not just some guy capturing lightning in a bottle. Leafs need that.
Get it?
Oh, I didn't even mean to do that.
Lightning in a bottle.
Like if Soshnikov comes out of his lair or whatever and randomly throws up, I don't know,
Yeah.
25 goals between now and the end of 2018, we'd be like, what? That's what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Or even it could be a guy like Hyman or Brown randomly flirting with 30 goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could argue Brown was that guy last year.
Oh,
It's a little bit bizarre that he scored 20 goals.
Yeah.
And
It's
it was
ridiculous.
also barely talked about because of the rest of the team.
Press conference?
Yes, sorry. Wow, we've been trying to get to that for 20 minutes.
So the first question on the press... Do you have to go?
No.
Okay. The first question on the press conference, I guess, should come from me because we've been trying to get this since the beginning of the show.
Oh, right.
I've never been to a wedding before.
Okay.
What should I expect? Also, I didn't send back my invitation to Adam because we were just like, oh yeah, I'm going to come. So I didn't need to do that. So I don't really know where to go or where to be on Saturday. So I'm probably going to message you early in the morning so you can take care of me and direct me on what to do.
Jesse, first of all, that is an excellent idea
Thank you.
on account of, Adam, I'm so sorry. He's been a little shocking.
Uh-huh.
I'm the co-MC for this thing. I don't have a schedule.
Nope.
I go, how long should I make my speech? And he texted me back, I trust you.
Yeah,
What
or
does
whatever.
that mean? Like, give me something to work with, man.
The planning that's gone into this day,
I know,
haven't seen any of it, but I assume there's been some.
there absolutely has been, and that's fine as the bride and groom. But like us as the wedding party, we should like know a little bit more.
No.
I know what time to be there Saturday because Mrs. Dangle asked him.
Because, yeah, I haven't been given any instructions.
Well, and I've been slowly spreading the message throughout the wedding party.
Okay.
I assume no one else knows.
No.
This is confirmation. So now I have a few more texts to send.
We'll have a longer conversation off air.
Yeah.
But, okay, what do I expect wedding-wise?
All right.
What are weddings like?
As the groomsman, we'll see. So you're getting like an Uber wedding thing too, because you're not just a regular attendant. You have stuff to do.
Do I wear my suit to the wedding? Or do I change into my
Like
suit?
to the ceremony?
I don't know.
Of course you do.
Do I pick it up and then put it on, leave my house in it? Or do I, when I get there, I put it on?
Put it on when you get there.
So I'm going to carry it in a grocery bag in my Uber.
No, for the love of God. No, we're going to get you.
I'm going to get
First of all, it's a rental.
Longos.
They're going to give you a bag.
I
like
don't know
a
that.
suit bag.
I've never picked up a suit
You never
rental.
had prom.
I bought my tux.
Oh, you bought your tux.
And I wore it out my door.
But even when you... Jesse, this is shocking.
I've literally never rented a suit before.
That's amazing.
I've never been to a wedding, never rented a suit. So I was just going to stick it in a Longos bag and then walk it down to, where are we going, City Hall?
I've been going to a different wedding every 3 weeks for my entire life due to being Italian and also in my 20s. So
Yes.
I suppose this is why it's shocking to me. Now, it's funny. You just said City Hall. I literally don't know where the ceremony is. I was just going to check. No, but here's what we got to do. We got to show up at like 10 or 11 because we're the groomsmen.
Okay.
Like, sorry. No, it's okay. You should be super glad that we're not bridesmaids, because their morning, I don't know what it is specifically for this one, but typically when Mrs. Dangle is a bridesmaid, her morning starts like she's getting up at like 6 or something to get her to start getting her makeup done at 7.
Do I have to get my makeup done?
No, you don't.
I can head into Sephora. There's one at the Eden Center.
Like, okay, I went to a cottage wedding this past summer. I think the ceremony was at like 3. We put on our suits at like, I don't know, we started putting them on at like 1. We got some pictures done at like 1:30 while drinking, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fun. And then, we like slowly sauntered over. We're there like seating people by like 2:30, and then the ceremony starts. You stand there for a few minutes, and then it's done.
Okay, so what am I, a groomsman?
You're a groomsman.
Okay, I gotta remember that.
As I think Adam might refer to us as the best men, because he doesn't have a man.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
The groomsman, best. No, because best man's usually reserved for one guy. Yeah. Like you said, yeah, okay.
But Adam is doing what is, I think, a growing trend where people. So I had a best man, and I think he felt a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I was the first to get married, and I noticed that no one else in my group of friends had a best man, except for one guy who made his brother the best man, which, I mean, that's default. You have to. So, and I think he's listening. Hello, Matt.
It's weird singling people out like that.
It is.
Like, you're the best. It's literally in the name.
Instead, what they're doing is like delegating.
Yeah.
Which, I think that makes sense.
So what are my duties as a groomsman / best man's?
When we show up to the ceremony, we're in charge of like seating people.
Really?
Yes.
I like being a waiter.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, like we might have to do that because there's too many. Like, we're also going to a small wedding. Like, there's less than 100 people.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous to have, like, 4 guys be like, after you, after you, after you, after you, right this way, right this way.
Okay.
So at least 1 or 2 of us, I think ideally 2 is good, need to stay with the groom in the half hour before the wedding where he's freaking out and pacing all over the place.
Can you and me do that?
I think that's a good duo.
Can we record a podcast? If I bring, remember our little
especially if Adam says no.
Remember our little portable recorder that we had?
Yeah.
If I bring that and I say, okay, 30 minutes to the wedding, we have 30 minutes right here. Let's record a quick 30-minute pre-wedding podcast.
About the Marlowe Kadri Marner line.
You're about to walk down the aisle and marry Caprice. Let's record a podcast. We should do that.
Let's do that. I agree.
I assume he's not going to be down for that, but
he might be.
Anyways, so yeah, those are my duties, seating people.
Yeah, like there should be like at least one person who's like a wrangler. So, so it's not in a church. Like it's usually a church with me and like the pastor.
I think we're doing City Hall.
Yeah. I think so too. I don't actually know.
No, I don't know where I'm going.
I know it's scary, right? So anyway, put it this way: there's enough of us that like 2 of us are probably going to end up doing nothing.
Yeah.
If you want to be that guy, you can be that guy too.
It's going to be shit face.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then at the actual ceremony, there's not.
What does that mean?
Sorry, not the ceremony, the reception.
The reception is a dinner afterwards we're having somewhere else.
Yes.
So I assume like the arrangements from getting is from City Hall.
Dude, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll ask you those questions.
Is it a limo? Saturday. Is it an Uber? Are we walking? We'll find out. So there's going to be...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Adam, if he's not listening to this.
I'm not.
I'm sorry for making fun of your work.
I do not apologize.
We're sitting here making fun of the dude's wedding day because he's a poor planner. Also, I would tell this all.
I didn't call him any of the things you just did.
I would tell him that to his face that he's a poor planner.
Me too.
But I feel bad sitting here doing that.
Yeah, no. Oh, me too. That's fine. Doesn't take away the truth. No. So the reception is going to be easy. I assume like there's going to be things on the tables that say where everyone's sitting, and there's probably going to be a board or something that says, "Oh, you're at table 1, you're at table 2," so that's fine. But usually what happens is there's some kind of walkout that happens. They'll be like, and now here's all the bridesmaids, and they might introduce them one at a time. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm the MC. I should know this. But
you're gonna be saying that?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, and then yeah, here's the groomsmen. So we'll all either walk out together or we say something individually, and then and then basically you just kind of enjoy your night.
How long does the ceremony part usually take? Like, what's the time frame?
If you go to a Catholic wedding, it's like 45 minutes. I assume Adam and Caprice's is going to be about 10 to 15.
Oh, okay, like the actual like saying the vows and the little.
It completely
speeches.
depends on the wedding, but because it's a city hall wedding, I think it's going to be
what
pretty
I
quick.
want? Any listeners who are pros at weddings, what are your tips? What are your tips on getting too drunk, on mingling with family members, on preparation? What should we know?
Save your power drinking for after 10.
10 p.m. or
Yes.
a.m.?
Jesus, dude.
I thought it was an all-day thing.
I said power drinking. We're going to start the second we arrive.
Yeah. I can start power drinking then.
Yeah, especially because like you're not the groom.
No,
Adam
fuck that.
needs to not be that drunk because of like annulment and stuff. But like, we're fine. We're fine unless he expects me to bring my car, and that's how we're getting there. No, our responsibilities are not that crazy.
Okay,
as groomsmen.
and then afterwards, the reception.
Yeah,
that's going to be at a restaurant.
Your responsibilities are eat and dance and drink.
Okay, so I assume you'll be emceeing that as well.
That's the emceeing.
Okay.
I have nothing to do with the ceremony.
Oh, you're not also emceeing the ceremony? There's an MC for that?
No.
Okay.
None that I've ever been to. No.
I didn't know that then.
I mean,
I thought you would be like, here's somebody.
I think I've done a reading.
Okay. Was that a Catholic wedding? We had to do like a reading of like.
It would have been a long time ago. I was the ring boy twice.
Oh, is there gonna be a ring boy here?
I have no idea.
Okay. I hope it's Bindi.
And one of us has got to hold the rings.
I hope that's not you.
Me too. Me too.
Okay.
No, one of the groomsmen is a cop.
Yeah.
That is, if he's listening, you by default.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think that's it. I don't think anything else I should know? Any tips?
It's not that serious.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you'll have fun.
Okay.
Usually, the big thing to remember is we're there for Adam. We're there
smart.
primarily for him.
Yes.
And Caprice's wedding party is there for her, and they are there to support her, and we are there to support Adam. That's it.
Okay.
It's just support.
Okay.
And then one day when you get married, I have a whole much longer set of advice for you. Namely, don't get blackout drunk at a toga party the night before.
Which you did.
You bet. I didn't have much say in it.
Are we going out Friday?
We can.
I don't know. Maybe we should.
Adam, do you know how quickly Adam would have said no if he was here right now? Are we going out for no?
That's so true. He would have shut it down before it even left my mouth.
Are we going to... No.
No. Okay. Do you want to do a press conference question?
Oh, my God. Yes, for the first time.
We'll do 2 questions. User LPG24 writes, few questions. I guess one in a multiple question. What are the ultimate contract options for Nylander, Marner, and Matthews? Is there a case for Nylander to get paid less than Pastrnak and Ehlers? And Gardner being traded next season because Dermott looks better because of contract and skill. Any way you want to answer that? Go ahead.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting because I do kind of see a bigger move coming for the Leafs at some point. I just don't know what it is. And the other interesting thing they have is I think Dermott deserves to be on the team, certainly at the beginning of next year. I think there's a significant argument to be made that Liljegren deserves to be as well. But, like, I'll be the first to admit that, like, while that's exciting, that's young. And then your support group is going to be Riley, Hainsey, Gardner, Zaitsev.
Riley, who's, 24, but has played.
Yeah. Hainsey, who's ancient, but ancient.
Yeah.
And Gardner, who is, you never know which one of him you're going to get. And Zaitsev, who is still struggling to establish himself in the league a little bit, to an extent. He's emerged as a good penalty killer. but like that's not crazy, right? And I would assume with a rookie like Liljegren in the lineup on the right, unless you put Dermott on the right, you're going to be really riding Zaitsev and Hainsey hard, which is the problem that we had at the beginning of the season. So what was the initial question? Oh,
the contracts,
Nylander and Pasternak.
Yeah.
Nylander, I could see getting roughly what Pasternak got. Although, has Nylander accomplished what Pasternak has?
How much is Pasternak's?
It's like $6 million. Something like that.
Nylander, no. Like, there's no, straight up.
This is the thing. The real interesting thing to me is Marner. Because, like, Nylander has accomplished much more than Marner has in this league so far.
Pasternak got 6.
So, Nylander's done okay. And the argument for 6 flat is certainly there.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. He'll grow into it.
Yeah.
He'll grow into it just fine.
Okay.
I think that'll be one of those contracts when the first year you go, really? And then the second year you go, oh, okay. Third year you go, oh, what a deal.
What a steal.
Exactly. Yeah. So, meanwhile, it's about even, right, when you consider all of it. But Marner is still struggling to stay off of the Leafs' fourth line permanently.
Yeah.
You know? He's got 6 goals so far this season. Yeah, he's racking up the assists, but
do you go bridge deal?
It's up to him. That's up to him, right? I think the Leafs mantra, if you look at the signings they've made, is go long term with all the young guys. Zaitsev for 7 years is nuts.
Yeah.
The more I think about that, what the hell is going on? But by the end of the 7 years, you're like, oh, $4 million's nothing. But like
right now, $4 million looks like nothing.
But is he a $4 million defender?
You're like he's projecting that way.
Gardner pisses me off, but he's not making do everything money. He's super good in the offensive zone. He's suspect sometimes in his own zone. If he was making $7 million, I'd be pretty pissed off with him all the time. But he's making 4. So that's the argument for trading him.
Can Zaitsev be Gardner?
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, Zaitsev doesn't even do the things that Jake Gardner does yet.
And he makes more than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the concerning thing. I can't help but feel like there is a significant addition coming to the Leafs. I feel like they're going to replace a lot of things internally. I still say Kapanen. Like, how the hell is Kapanen going to get a spot on this team? And Johnson and... You know, is there the potential that maybe they use one or both of those guys in a trade to acquire someone?
And like Gauthier is an RFA at the end of this year. Shoshnikov's an RFA.
Yep. So there's a lot. There's a lot to take into account. But I think they're going to bring someone on board. I don't know who that someone is.
Okay.
Yes.
Someone defensively or offensively?
I got to imagine defensively.
Okay.
But I don't know. Actually, no, I think they're going to make a big move for a third center. And by third, I mean like... They're just going to be loaded up the middle.
John Tavares.
That would be so dope. You would automatically have one of the best centers in the league because automatically have one of the best first-line centers in the league because it's either Matthews or Tavares. You automatically have the best second-line center in the league because it's either Matthews or Tavares. Maybe Malkin aside. And then your third line, I know. And then your third line center is Nazem Kadri, like definitive,
easily
one of the best.
The best. Who's playing on the third line? Who's Nazem Kadri?
Fourth line center who gives a shit.
Yeah, it could be you,
but it might be a guy like Joe Thornton. That'd be cool. No, not the fourth center. I'm saying instead of Tavares. I'm not that crazy. That's still
why
a little crazy.
I ignored it because you implied that Joe Thornton was our fourth line.
Solely misunderstanding.
Okay. I'm sorry. I will acknowledge your.
No, yeah, you're not. Sorry.
Final question before we go home. ZZ Bottom 19 wants to know: Winnipeg, contenders or pretenders?
Contenders, and if they haven't looked like contenders to you recently, it's because Mark Scheifele's out. No, that's a contending team. They finally got goaltending figured out. They got the bodies on the back end for sure, and their power play and offense can keep up with anyone in the league. The one thing that I look out for, and I don't know exactly what their power play percentage was, I just know their personnel is scary, is power plays go down in the playoffs, so that might hurt them. Other than that, no, they look like contenders to me.
I just got a note
from
my cellular device that says Golden Knights win 31st game, leap Lightning for top spot in NHL.
You're joking.
The expansion Vegas Golden Knights, a team that didn't exist 365 days ago.
On January 21st.
Is the number one team in the NHL.
Absolutely unbelievable. And on that note, I'm about to suffer kidney failure. I need to go.
Go pee. We're done.
Love you.
I think we did an all right job here by ourselves.
We did great.
Yeah. High five to us.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.